Hi everyone, I'm Ash.
And I'm Joe, and welcome to yet another chat show.
Unscripted as per usual.
Yes, unscripted as per usual, with no topics in mind as of yet, except for the fact that tires for Tesla is very expensive.
Stupidly expensive.
I just had a screw in a tire. Luckily, it was on the front side and not on the side wall, so it was patchable. The patch cost me 30 quid, but cost me some sleep, so yeah, there we go. But then I inquired about how much it is for a new tire. Yeah, it came out to £290 per tire for the exact same tires that Tesla installed. So you could probably go for cheaper, but I happen to know the brand and I like the brand. It's a good brand and you get good grip and everything. So I'll probably end up sticking with the brand because I've had cheaper tires before in other vehicles and no.
There's a reason why they fitted what they fitted.
Yeah, I once had in a, let's call it in an emergency situation, some budget tires installed on the van that I had, and I think I did about 2,000 miles before I went in and had them changed because I didn't feel safe driving on those tires.
I've
I,
had that before in a van.
I kid you not, as soon as there was a tiny bit of water on the road, as soon as you had a tiny bit of rain, you could feel it slipping.
Yeah, no toll.
You know, and I paid £60 per tire for those. And then I went for the hand cooks, which is what the Tesla has on, and they were 90, I think 90, yeah, I think they were pretty much 90 quid each, like 89 or 92 or something like that.
Yeah, 90s. That's normally what we installed on the company that I work for's vans.
Mm, yeah,
They're good tires, mate. They go. There's nothing
yeah.
wrong with them.
No, Hancooks are good tires. I mean, if Tesla puts them on at the factory, I can imagine they're pretty decent.
They are
But
decent, 100%.
yeah,
Better than Bridgestone, Firestone, and all that.
yeah, these are EV tires now, and they are sound what, reduction and whatever nonsense they've involved in it, which I understand. But yeah, it makes them vastly more pricey.
And the difference is going to come out that there is actually none. It's just a money-making scheme.
Very likely. I mean, they say it's extra load. Is it really? I mean, to be fair,
Talking rubbish, mate. A tire's a tire.
the van had extra load tires. The van
Hmm.
didn't. My van actually didn't use dedicated van tires. It was car tires that was extra load.
Yes.
So you know,
I think it's a money-making scheme, personally.
what charging that much for a tire? Yeah,
Yes.
and people reckon you run through tires quicker than an ice car. Why? It says
Um,
it's the horse acceleration. Like really?
that's what I was going to say. Your torque off the line is a massive difference, and that's what eats tires, dude. If you can teach yourself to drive like a normal human being, like the Beamer's taught me since I've had it. I used to drive like a bat out of hell until I got this car, and it's changed my driving style, to be honest with you. And hopefully, well, I say hopefully when I get to Tesla, it's going to stay that way. But I've spoken to a few people that's gone back to Tesla, and you just can't help yourself but drive it like a go-kart.
You can't. Trust me, you can't. When you're at the traffic light or something, you know, stop sign, whatever, and you know the road's gonna go from 3 to 2 lanes or 2 to 1. Just can't help yourself. You just gotta put your foot down, get to the speed limit, and then sit and cruise.
And that's what eats your tires. That and your
Yes.
cornering speed.
Now my corner swing is usually good. Yeah, no, I don't corner very fast.
No, well, and is the other thing that I used to like doing in my personal cars, but I don't really do it in the Beamer anymore, is accelerating out of the corner. It also uses a hell of a lot of grip. It feels so good though.
Yeah, I don't used to do that a lot anymore.
I,
Like
I,
really
I
not
I
a
used
lot.
to, but I don't actually anymore, to be
To be
honest with
fair,
you. The
I
only
used
time
to
I
do
will do
that
it
on a
is if we
van.
get to the same spaces that used to sit now. You come in out of a roundabout and you know it's two lanes verging into one and there's a massive truck in my way. Yeah, I'm putting my foot down.
Yes. It was quite a shocker for me today. Well, one, I was half asleep still when I was at the tire place. And when they gave me that figure, because I was seriously expecting 200. I mean, this is fitted. So I've looked at the tires themselves. I'm struggling to find them, but something similar. Tires themselves you can get for about 200 for the tire. But I'm guessing there's more involved with it because of the pressure monitoring system and all that nonsense.
Potentially.
Yes. So they charge 100 quid basically on top of the Tyre.
Okay, is that 100 quid per tire? Or if you fitted 4 new, they still only charge you 100 quid, and then 200 per tire.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Interesting. Tell you another thing that's interesting that people have noticed
What?
on Mr. Musk's Twitter page.
Yeah.
So next to the X for x.com, there's another letter. Go onto his Twitter quickly.
I shall do so.
I think you shall. You might just find it interesting.
Okay, let's share the screen because you want me to share the screen, I assume.
I didn't say you have to share the screen. I'm just talking about something interesting we didn't have to talk about. So
Let's share. Let me find out with everybody else.
I don't. You're not going to find out with everybody else. It's been spoken about a lot.
No, I
But
know, but whoever watches our video. Yeah, there we go. All right. So now we need to find Mr. Elon
Mr. Musk, yes, please, if you can find him.
He was right there at the top. Elon Musk X at elonmuskx.com.
You were right there. Go a little bit lower where it said joined. Right where your mouse is now. What do you see there?
What the hell is XD?
Where's that D from? Does it look familiar?
No, I don't recognize it.
That's a D from Doge. Again,
His location is X.
He's not said
D.
anything, but a lot of people have noticed that he's put the D next to the X.
Okay.
And again, where a lot of people are now coming back to the fact that Dogecoin integrated into X might be more of a possibility than people thought. I mean, if you go on to some of the older, not older, but some of the Elon interviews, the way he talks about Doge and how it can be used and how quick it is and that sort of thing. There's a lot of indication or talk that it might happen, which I find very interesting. As you know, I like my crypto.
Yeah, you do.
And it was just something interesting that people come across.
Okay.
And there's no explanation for it. Why would it be there?
I don't know.
He's not the type of person that does something without a reason.
No, absolutely not. He does everything within reason.
And that D is very clearly the D from Doge.
I forgot to turn my light on. There we go. So you reckon they're gonna be integrating Doge into X.com's payment systems?
It's not just going to be Doge. It's also what a lot of people are saying is because he's talking or how he's talking about X being a financial app that can replace banks and all that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It's not just going to be Doge that's integrated. There's going to be more, but Doge will be sort of used to pay for things within the platform.
Okay.
So your subscriptions, I don't know. There's loads. X is going to change so much that there'll be other uses for it.
What if Elon looks at the code of Doge and is not quite happy with it and decides to make his own one?
He's very happy with Doge. He loves Doge.
Yeah, but Doge was a meme coin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is the code actually to the point where it could function properly for the needs?
It is usable, yes. Elon has said in his own words that yes, it can be integrated and it can be used.
Interesting.
It goes a while back now that he actually said the most ironic thing normally happens.
Yeah, he does.
And wouldn't it be ironic for the meme coin of meme coins to take over?
Where do you watch the coin market cap? Yeah.
Coin market cap, but this information came on Altcoin Daily.
No, I just want to look at Dogecoin on coin market cap. Jeez.
It's doing. I don't think it's doing too badly.
It's listed 7th in the list. What are we on one day? Because I'm constantly getting alerts about Doge going up and down and up and down and up and down.
It's because of this. It's because of that D on his page is what's causing all the commotion.
And when did this happen?
People started noticing it yesterday, day before. Well, I've started noticing it, and then they released an episode on Altcoin Daily. It was either yesterday or today's episode where they went in and they spoke about it and discussed it, and yeah, it might happen.
Yeah, you can see there's been two spikes on it. On one on the 24th there was a spike up, and then again one on the 25th there was another spike up.
So the one on the 24th, when was the 24th? The 24th was Monday. That would be after the weekend
That was
when people.
at about 9 a.m. our time. I'm assuming this is which time they're running on.
You would imagine that's going to be in the States because the markets would have been closed over the weekend.
What do you mean,
I
Marcus?
know.
So we talk about crypto.
Crypto never closes. Sorry, apologies.
Man.
But yeah, so that would have been a pump. Okay, even though the crypto market doesn't close over the weekend, not a lot of people invest over the weekends in crypto. They tend to treat it like the normal stock market.
Yeah. There we
So
go.
that would make sense for me why it then shot up on the 24th because of what happened the weekend. And then on the 25th, that would have been probably when Elon decided to put a Dogecoin sign in there
Yeah.
and get everybody way too happy way too quickly. But yeah, see, look, there's the
You
D
can
on
see
the
the
page.
volume.
Just loaded. Look at the D on the page there. For that Coinpedia news, right on in the right hand side, there's a Dogecoin D.
Ah,
Looks
bugger off with us.
looks exactly like the D in his
Okay.
Twitter, and that's why people. Because if it was just a normal D without the line,
Yeah.
it would have been nothing. But the fact that there's a line in the D is what people are going absolutely insane. Well, not insane, but trying to read between the lines. And with Mr. Musk, it's normally a good idea.
Yes. Yes, it is a good idea to read between the lines.
So something interesting that's come out that people are discussing.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So, how long till something's actually said officially by them?
No, dude,
Could be forever.
this will still take a while. Elon has got a lot of work to do. He's literally just changed it to X.
Yeah.
So
He still has to change the app names, app logos.
yeah,
You
he's still got a lot of work to do.
decide
It's
to. Um.
it's not going to be it happens overnight thing. But again, if we're going to talk trading and investing before you hit fear of missing out and you miss out in any ways, now might be the time.
I own a couple of Doge.
And a few fair Doge,
Yeah.
a fair few. There we
I,
go. Sorry.
I probably don't own as many as you.
No, I don't own a lot, don't get me wrong. But I've got some Doge. I've got more than 100, but less than 1,000.
I've got 20.
Oh, no. I'm almost on 600.
Fair enough.
Oh, about 600 Doge I'm on, I believe.
Yeah. Okie
But again,
dokie.
I've just been slowly collecting since November last year.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why.
So now that Twitter is no longer Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
but tweets are still called tweets, do you think they're going to change the name on it?
I'd hope so.
Or do they keep the short form messages, which not really short form anymore if you are a X Blue subscriber? Then you can post much longer messages. But do they keep that section of the website of the app still as tweets? And then they can start maybe branching off, like, a video section is actually more dedicated to videos, like YouTube. Because at the moment, if you're trying to watch videos on Twitter, it's not a great experience. It's not like you can go and search for stuff. You don't have recommendations presented to you. If Twitter or X wants to take on YouTube, which it would want to, I would imagine,
Of course it is. It's not just going to
then
take it on, it's going to beat it.
I think they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna do it to have it as a seamless experience, but need a major improvement on it compared to where it is now.
Yeah, it changing from Twitter to X is the smallest step.
Yeah, that part is easy.
I don't think in, let's call it 2 years' time for the sake of argument, the Twitter you see today ain't going to exist. The landing page you go onto when you go onto X or Twitter, it ain't going to be there. It's not going to be the same sort of thing at all.
No.
You'll
No.
have your videos, you'll have your chats, you'll also have your banking, it's going to be mad, honestly. I cannot wait to see what he does with this.
Yeah,
And
I
it would
know.
make sense for it to have some sort of currency that is attached to X.
I get it.
But yeah, I've said this a few times now. Still think it's going to happen. Just don't know when.
Yeah, exactly.
But things are happening. It's all going in the right direction. Apart from crypto.com is messing me about at the moment.
Why?
Can't transfer money into my fiat wallet.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, tried to do it on last week's Thursday. Cleared on Monday. And they sent me a thing that I had to flip and send them some documentation in as a one-time only thing. Sent it in. And then tried to do another transaction on Sunday. I'm still waiting for it.
Okay.
So they're kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. I'm almost at the point where I might just go to a different platform.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've had a look around on Twitter and everywhere. I haven't found another place or another person that is having the issues that I have. So it might just be me. Um, but
Yeah.
it's just strange, very very strange.
Yeah, no, it does sound weird.
It's very weird. I don't know what's gone on. But either way, I can't transfer money to my fiat wallet, so I can't buy any crypto.
Yeah, that seems not right, does it?
But yet, I can log on to my app. I can sell any crypto I've got, and I can transfer money into my card. So that all still works. I just can't put money onto my fiat wallet, so I can't buy crypto.
Yeah, weird.
Very strange. You'd think if they're going to stop anything, and they're stopping from taking money out, not putting money in.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound right, does
Nah,
it?
something weird going on, and their customer service is not the best. I'm not going to lie to you. Been trying to sort this out for days, and apparently they only send one email a day. And I'm not joking. They literally send one email a day at like 3:45 in the afternoon, which then I reply to, and I have to wait till 4:45 the next day before somebody replies. So if anybody does use them, just be careful. Their customer service is rubbish. You don't seem like you've got a lot to say today, do you?
No, I'm listening to you, and at the same time I'm looking at these tires, and I can't find an online shop that stocks this specific size tire. Maybe they've really like not common tires. Maybe that's why they're so expensive.
There is a potential for that.
I'm guessing they're all season tires. Let's go all tire size. They're 245, 45, 19s. Not sure what the speed is on them. Price category, brand and quick search. 245, 45 ZR19, 102Y, XLB, summer tires. I think. Okay, so they called summer tires, yeah?
They're called summer tires, are they?
Yeah.
What are you going to do in winter?
Puts no chains on.
Yeah, I'd love to see what your range is going to be once you've done that.
Ah, there we go. Yes. Range. Anyway, I found a place called mytires.co.uk who stocks the tire
Mm-hmm.
for recommended retail price is £250. They have it on their website for 155. That's a huge difference. Maybe I buy the
Much.
tire myself and then go to the place and they fit it. So they probably getting it for the 250 and then they charge 50 quid to fit.
They're getting
Or
it less for 250.
40 quid to fit.
You going to a place that sells tires. You think they're buying the tire for 250? If that other place can give it to you for 150, they're probably paying 70 quid for it, mate. And they're selling it to you for almost 300.
I don't think there's massive markup on tires. A lot of rubber and metal in tires.
Okay. And how come one person can buy it for 150?
I think that is close to the actual price. Like they probably
Okay.
make 20% or something on it.
Okay. Even if that's the case, so then they've charged you 150 pound labor.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's stupid money for labor.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but that is just ridiculous. To change a tire
yeah, no,
shouldn't take
that's
you
not
more than an hour.
acceptable.
If it
Yeah,
takes you more than an hour to change a tire, you're in the wrong profession. Move on.
yeah. So 155 quid for the 69 dB rating tire and 152 for the 72 dB rating tire.
Which one do you have?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess it's a 69 because they are the what's his name, low. It does say low noise. Plus the for 3 quid more, your fuel efficiency rating goes up from a C to an A. So you definitely go for that.
That would make sense.
Yeah, and it has lower noise, so yeah, you'd go for that. But the other one, the one that's a little bit cheaper, has a higher wet weather rating, so it goes That's an A, whereas the slightly more expensive one is a B.
Ah, seeing as we live in the UK, you might need that one.
B is good enough for wet weather, honestly. It's good enough.
You say that now. You've not actually had your Tesla for that long and had to experience
I
the
know.
full force of the UK.
Last night. Did it not rain where you were last night?
Not massively. It was raining a bit, but not major.
No, it was raining not hard, but constant. And there were some seriously deep water puddles in certain places. And I went through them no problem.
Fair enough.
But so it was proper chucking, not chucking down, but it was decent raining, but it was consistent, so the roads were already saturated and it was wet. And the efficiency took a massive hit. Whenever I drove a ice car, I could tell that yes, you get less range on when there's wet weather or when it's winter, and depending on the temperature. Like on your ice car, all those things affect you. People don't notice it as much, but I've always been paying attention to it. I always found that when the temperature is around between 15 and 20, you tend to get your best efficiency on an ice car, the outside temperature. If it goes lower than that, you start losing efficiency. If it goes higher than that, you start losing efficiency. Most people don't pay attention to that. But I was,
Oh, no, I've clearly noticed that, but mine is just the difference between summer and winter. That's all. Summer months, my car, okay, put it this way. I can drive from my house to Milton Keynes in the winter and back, which is 140 miles, and I'll gain 10 to 15 miles on my trip. If I do the exact same journey in the summer, I'll gain 25 to 30 miles because I'm driving on eco mode. So the car's obviously like doing what it can to
yeah,
save fuel.
yeah.
And
So
because
you,
it's hotter, it gives me at least 10 miles
yeah,
extra on a 140-mile trip.
yeah. Now, because apart from the harsh acceleration in the Tesla, um, because I drive it very similar to how I drove the van, and I drove that van to get the best efficiency out of it. I mean, I was sometimes getting 55 miles per gallon on that van, which on a van is really damn good.
Yeah, it's not bad, that is.
You know, because I'm the one who pays for it in the end. So why would I waste my own money?
Of
I
course,
get
yes.
to work 5 minutes later if there's no traffic, and if there's traffic, I'll get there late anyway, regardless of what speed I'm trying to achieve. So the slight differences in temperature would always notice. If it was raining, you would see a massive hit to that 55.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would,
water causes many issues.
oh yeah, major. But that's the thing with miles per gallon is it doesn't scale linearly.
No.
No, the way it scales is weird, and that's why it's an inaccurate measure system. Whereas in the Tesla, it's watt hours per mile, and that does scale linearly. And my gosh, so in the last video I showed where the average 221 watt hours per
Mhm.
mile in a car so far, over 4,000 miles nearly. Okay, I've
Yeah,
crossed 4,000 now. Last night, driving in the rain, I was getting 300.
sure.
By the time I got off the motorway and started going into London, and by the time I got to work, because in the city driving you get better efficiency, which you don't get on a ice car. But it came down to 260, which is still 40 more. Was that nearly what 15-20% more than the average? But yet
Yes.
there was a section on the motorway where I was going over 300. It was like 310 watt hours per mile. So that was quite interesting to see the knock on that. So I'm very curious to see how it would react in the winter time and all that.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and then next week when I put the roof box on there,
Oh, gosh.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, bye range.
Bye bye range, but it was always the same in the other vehicles. As soon as I put the roof box on, but you don't notice it as much because the cars, yeah, they might tell you, okay, you got 200 miles left, but it drops in 5 or 10 miles sections, and it just doesn't display it as accurately as it does in the Tesla. The Tesla shows you every single mile, every watt hour is like extremely accurate, so you notice it a hell of a lot more.
Yes.
And I do feel because the car is such an efficient design, like aerodynamic design, anything you do to affect that, like water on the road, which increases your rolling resistance. All of that just has such a major effect on it because it's already such an efficient vehicle. So your efficiency takes more of a hit.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting what happens winter time when it's snowy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start paying for some charge.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, anything else you want to add?
No, I think I've rambled for most of this video actually.
So yeah, next week, which might be when this video gets released, I'll be on holiday. I will be making some videos, especially about these efficiency figures. I'm very interested in how much it gets affected by it. And who knows, maybe I'll regret going for the lowest range version. I still don't think I would, because of the fact that it's LFP batteries and you actually get to use the full range. Whereas with the other batteries, they don't want you to use the full range. They want you to only go to 80%. And therefore, even though you have 330 miles of range, you don't get to use 330 miles of range.
No, you might get to use 300.
Now, if you use 80% of 330, that's more like 270
Oh yeah,
miles. So
yeah,
then
that's true.
so I would have paid 8 grand more to get 10 miles of range more.
It hardly seems worth it.
It's not worth it. I'm sorry, it's not worth it.
No,
You know, and then with the what's his name? Yeah, you get a slightly faster acceleration. Whoopee. But you have a bigger battery pack, so you go from a 60 kilowatt hour battery pack to a 75 kilowatt hour battery pack to get 10 miles of range more. It's not worth
no,
it, is it?
no.
No. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that the LFP is the way to go, and it's a more accurate way of measuring the vehicles because they need to measure it based on usable, everyday usable range, not what the
Yes.
maximum range is. Okay, yes, when you go on a road trip, you could charge full, but what if you need to use that kind of range every single day? I'd rather have the known fact that I have 260 miles of range available to me every day because that's what the car was sold as. It was sold as 280, but it's WLTP, which is inaccurate.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather stick to what works and stick to what know it works
Yes,
until
so
the rest gets sorted out at a later stage and we can start worrying about that.
so I've done 4,000 miles now, and I've not had any range drop yet. So I'm still at my 100% capacity. So maybe when you get closer to 10,000 or something, where it drops. But I'm sure I've seen people saying they start dropping from about 2,000 miles. But maybe that's not on the LFP chemistry.
Potentially, that I wouldn't know.
And then it usually starts settling at around after you've lost about 5%. So yeah,
Still not the
let's
end of the world.
see what. Yeah, no, I've factored all of that in before I bought the vehicle. It's 260 miles is more than enough. Especially with Tesla supercharger network, it's not an issue.
Nah, that'll do me, to be honest. I can get pretty much anywhere on this island with that miles and back.
Yeah, you can. You're quite centrally located.
I am, yes. You mean
Yeah.
quite central? I couldn't be any more central if I tried. I can't. I've tried. I've had a look. I've had a look. Trust
Yeah,
me.
yeah, you are very central. I mean, obviously, we're not factoring north of Scotland and stuff like that, but
I can get to London, to Scotland, and to Wales in an hour and a half.
yeah, but that's South Scotland, not North Scotland.
That doesn't matter. That's West London
Hang
as
on,
well, but I'm still in London.
hour and a half from you to the Scottish border.
Let's call it 2 hours. Let's be.
I just want to say no because it takes me 6 hours to get to Glasgow, and you're only 2 hours away from me. And granted,
No,
Glasgow is what an hour into Scotland,
yes.
so it should take you about 3 hours or so.
No, it's not that far. Straight up the M1. Don't be silly.
Come on then, do a search. Just up to the Scottish border. Are you talking about going up the route to Glasgow or up to Edinburgh?
I just want to get to the Scottish border.
Then you're probably talking towards Edinburgh up the M1.
Let me just
There's your
quickly.
Newcastle, Edinburgh. Where's the Scottish border? There you are. Northumberland National Park on the A68. Probably the way you would go. So the England-Scottish border on the A68.
Northumberland National Park. Directions to
It would
there.
take me 5 hours and 10 minutes to get there. 296 miles.
Okay, so it's 3.5 hours for me. So it's a
There
little bit
we
further.
go. So to the English-Scottish border that way. I think it would actually be quicker for me if I go to the M6 border. 96 miles, 5 hours. Wait, show me the border. He doesn't want to.
No, so 191 miles to there, 150 miles to London, and then to get to Wales.
For me to this going up to Glasgow on the A74 is 4 hours 43 minutes, so it's quicker that way than going up to Edinburgh.
And
If it
then,
might be quicker for you too to go to that side. That's a
yeah,
tiny
probably.
little island, eh?
Hey, you can't say that. People get offended.
I'm sorry, the fact that you can get from the center to anywhere else in only a couple of hours, yeah, it's tiny. I mean, I remember us going on holiday. We were quite centrally located in South Africa, and it took us 6 hours to get to the nearest coastline.
Yeah, and people get pissy if you call it an island. But
It's an
what do you
island.
call land surrounded by water?
Well, you could call it a continent, but this is not a continent.
Definitely not a continent. The continents are not what we're looking at.
I mean, there's some people that classify Australia as an island.
What?
Yeah.
How the
So
flipping hell did they get to that?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure we're only slightly bigger than New Zealand, eh?
Tell you what, Australia is actually an island.
It is an island.
Sorry, my geography is rubbish. Don't have to cut that out. So it is an island.
Well, there's some people that argue the other case. Mostly Australians will argue that it's not.
Yeah,
Obviously.
like Brits will argue that England's not.
No, exactly. Yeah, if it's completely surrounded by water and there's no other countries connected to it and stuff like that. Because look at Italy. Italy is similar size to the UK, but it's connected to the mainland.
As long as
But
it's connected to the mainland, it's not an
it's
island.
yeah, it's part of the mainland. It's just it's a human border that classifies it, not a natural border. Anyway, we should wrap this one up.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
Right, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, and we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.
See you soon.